start off with the Blue Jays as underdogs against the Yankees today. Yankees minus 125 on the money line. Blue Jays plus 105. Pitching matchup here. Kevin Gausman, if you remember, was great for the Giants last season against Luis Severino. The Yankees offense has been a little bit pedestrian, scoring over 4 runs just once this year, and I believe that was in extra innings against the Red Sox. And we talk about underdogs. Toronto has been good as dogs this season, including last night. Vladdy Jr. hitting 3 home runs in Toronto's rout of Garrett Cole and the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. And also Toronto as an underdog this season is 2-1, a winning record. Yes, it's a small sample size, but Toronto, boy, can they rake.
Oh my gosh. And I think you need to get on the Blue Jays money train early, because I think they're going to be the story towards the end of the season as well. And I think today is going to be a great example game. Severino absolutely struggled against the Red Sox in his last outing. I think he only went 3 innings, just maybe over 4, through 80 pitches. And I'm one of those believers that if your last outing was bad, your next outing might be bad too. And if it's against Vlad Jr. and that lineup with the with the Jays, I see this is almost a layup. Plus, Severino was injured and was used only in the bullpen last year, so he's coming off of a surgery, and so he's still trying to work out the kinks as a starter. And I think today might just be bad news. It might be a bad news bear game today. What I call a bad news bear game is where the game is over early, hit the showers, you've done everything you could. The other kids over there are just beasts. So with Toronto at plus 105, I think that's easy to jump on. And I would even look at taking the over 8.5. It could be a bloodbath again.
I think the only sabotage factor, if you're looking at the over, is the Yankees. Like I said, their offense has been a little pedestrian this season, and Kevin Gausman had one of the better seasons for a relatively unknown pitcher, I believe, and San Francisco, a big part of the Giants' success last season out in the NL West. However, this is a very hitter-friendly park, of course, with Yankee Stadium, the short porch, and all the home run hitters for the Blue Jays. My goodness, I think all eyes will be on Vladdy Jr. if he can do it again, if he can hit another home run, because my goodness, last night was glorious. 3 home runs in a single game. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, inside of a wiffle ball stadium ballpark. I mean, it's just the aesthetics are beautiful. Just when he launches those balls, whether they're line drives or sky high. Let's be honest. It's beautiful seeing home runs go out of Yankee Stadium. And Vlad Jr. is the perfect candidate to do that some more.
All right, so let's take a look at another big name in baseball. Shohei Ohtani on the mound for the Angels today. The Angels road favorites against the Rangers, total set at 9 runs. And for me, I try to stay away from the big name pitchers just because you're paying a premium. We saw it last night with Garrett Cole. He was a huge favorite against the Blue Jays, and he gave up 2 home runs to Vladdy Jr. by himself. So not always an indicator of a team's success, and it is a team game. But looking at the Angels, Shohei definitely gives them a good opportunity here. I will say the Rangers are a pretty strikeout-prone team, so Ohtani might be in for a big day when it comes to the K's in this one. But right now, like I said, Ohtani coming in with an 0-1 record despite a 1.93 ERA. So, KJ, how do you feel about fading or tailing Ohtani in this one?
I'm gonna tail him, and because I'm with you there. You just said that ERA of 1.93. That's ridiculous. That means people are missing. You're getting outs, and the Rangers are still in rebuild mode. And so while they might have a bat or two, they've got a lot of bats that will swing through. So you may see a double-digit strikeout game from Ohtani tonight. And so I'm with you there. I would kind of like ride that tail of Ohtani doing some serious damage. I don't know so much with the bat, because I think if he gets locked in on the mound, the bat may become secondary. But if he strikes out 11, 12, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't. Like I said, this Rangers team is still trying to figure out its bearings. And early in the season, I'm a believer that bats are slower than arms. And who knows what kind of crazy regimen Otani did in the offseason. He's like, I don't need any type of spring training. I'll just get up here and just shut everybody down. And we might see that tonight.
I think for me, it's more about the pitching matchup on the other side. Obviously, you're never getting any value when you're tailing Otani just because we all know that he's good. But looking on the other side for the Rangers, it's stunning Dane Dunning. I just, threw that first part in there. His name is Dane Dunning, but I love the stunning
Sounds like a
Dane Dunning.
wrestling. It sounds like a pro wrestler's name, doesn't it?
Oh man, he was an auto fade for a lot of people last season. He was 5-10 with a 4.51 ERA. Not a great season for stunning Dane Dunning. But so far this season, he's had one start against the Blue Jays, gave up 3 runs over 5 innings of work in a no decision. So not terrible, but I think the pitching matchup is a bit too lopsided in this one for me to take a chance on the Rangers here. And plus, they've given up a ton of runs. Their pitching staff has not been great, giving up an average of 9.8 hits per game, ranking third worst in all of baseball. So I think I will ride with Otani, the unicorn for the Angels. This is the Daily Tip presented by BetMGM. I'm Chelsa Messenger. He is KJ Carson. Right now, we're diving into some baseball. And then later in the show, diving into the playoffs in the NBA, what teams can make us some money. Let's look at another underdog that could put some plus money on the card for a dub. Cardinals plus 125 against the Brewers today. Total set at 8 runs. Pitching matchup here is Adam Wainwright against Brandon Woodruff. For me, it's all about the Cardinals here. Their lineup has been
Yeah.
red hot, especially in the first 5. If you look at stats for the first 5 innings, St. Louis has scored the third most runs in baseball in just the first 5 innings. They've got a murderer's row of average machines, guys who have been on fire to start the season, including Nolan Arenado. So for me, I know Brandon Woodruff is a good pitcher. He's off to a rocky start, though, and the Brewers can't scratch across runs. I think I'm on the Cardinals here.
I'm with you. The Cardinals are putting something together early that I think some people kind of peaked in. When you looked inside of the numbers, even though the Brewers are the clear favorite to win the NL Central, I said not so fast, because if the Cardinals could jump on teams early, and they're starting to do that, kind of what the Red Sox did last year, I don't see them slowing down. And, we're talking about how there's value in the Blue Jays right now. I think the National League version of that right now are the Cardinals. Like, get on now, because as the season starts to progress, the value will slowly dip away, because they would be in a situation where, look, they are now that good. Maybe it isn't going to be the Brewers because of the slow start. So I like the Cardinals here at plus 125. I think that's great value on a team that's going to, like I said, have a decreasing value on your money as time goes on later on.
Yeah, looking at their lineup right now, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in their lineup that are hitting over 300. Yes, it is
Right.
a small sample size, but still, these batters are on fire to start the season, including Nolan Arenado leading the charge, who had a couple of RBI in their last game against the Royals. I know Brandon Woodruff is a good pitcher, and I said that. He had a great season last year, but we saw this between these two division rivals where the Cardinals would throw like J.A. Happ or John Lester, and they would go against the aces of the Brewers,
Yep.
including Brandon Woodruff, and they would be plus money winners. This is a Cardinals team that ended the year on a hot stretch, especially as underdogs. So for me, it is all about the plus money.